might be wondering what I have in my hands. This is what we call a paddle bat, and today you're going to learn to hit the ball in the narrow part. We also use it for bunting, but not today. But you're going to hit baseballs on the narrow part, so you got to really find the sweet spot of the ball and the sweet spot of the bat. So I'm just going to use this for illustration purposes. We have here a pitching line. We talked about one of the means that we use to measure hitters or batters is how efficiently they get onto that pitching line, how quickly they get there, how long they stay on there. Because we'll talk about that. But so to get yourself a visual image, this is what we've done. So when coach holds the ball up, so let's maybe a little lower, like you're releasing the ball. So he would release it there. So you know, he's 6'2", whatever he is. The first 18 feet, the hitter, I don't care who you are, you will be able to recognize if it's a ball or a strike. So the first 18 feet from release, you'll be able to determine where that ball is going to end up being. Remember, a 95 mile per hour fastball have less than half a second to deal with the situation. That's like if I threw a ball up and had a catch, and the ball came up about this high. That's how much time I have in terms of reaction. So the first 18 feet, if I'm a pitcher, advantage. If I can throw a pitch that goes around or inside that hula hoop, and I can make it scissor at the end, at home plate end, you will get hitters out consistently. You hide the pitch in the tunnel. If you throw outside of the imaginary hula hoop tunnel, then it's easier for the hitter to pick up. You might ask yourself the question, well, how about that guy that throws that nasty deuce, a lefty? Who's that guy that throws a nasty deuce back in the day?
Remember talking about Barry Zito?
Zito would occasionally throw outside of the hula hoop, and batters would freeze up to hit. They'd go up there, they see that floppy curve come in, and they freeze and take a strike. Why do you suppose that happens?
They're not used to seeing a ball that far outside.
They're not used to seeing it outside of the hula hoop. It throws them. So he used it as a freeze pitch. If he were to throw it a lot, then the hitters would catch on. But he goes and he pummels the tunnel. All great pitchers pummel that tunnel and then make the ball do different things at home plate. About halfway here, you're going to start now seeing a little bit of speed and spin. And then about this distance here, that's the last time you'll see the ball. Anything that travels over 83 miles per hour, you're not going to keep up. Your eyes cannot keep up with the velocity of the pitch. So you're going to probably lose it here when you're standing here. Okay, so hitting is a guess. You don't know what he's throwing. You can't guarantee a hit. You don't see the bat hit the ball, and you got no fire. So it's not easy, it's difficult. So, a couple things. So, you want to address the pitch line, attack the pitch line. The earlier we get there, without dragging the bat, back flag, I can foul pitches off right field, right center, center field, left field line, and then I run out of that. So I'm about right in here, anywhere between 3, 4, 5 feet. So the coaching point about hitting down on the ball or short to the ball is incorrect. It's not about short to the ball. If I go short to the ball, I only have this area to hit the ball. I'm watching the Barrett thing. Whereas if I get there efficiently and get my elbow into that slot early, I can deal with it and I can adjust. Critical. If I look up and in, I can deal with pitches. If I look up, I can get that pitches down. If I look in, I can get that pitch away. If I look deep, I can still get that curveball that gets thrown with that all-speed pitch. Those are crucial concepts. Most hitters run out of bat. Where do you run out of bat with? Slow pitches, right? Pitches that mess with your timing and rhythm. So you run out of bat. If you get there early and you look up, in, and deep, you have the best shot of staying online as long as you can to do some damage and to deal with the pitch effectively. So if I know that from a hitting standpoint, how's that going to help me with a pitcher or vice versa? You see how it depends on what perspective you take. If I can throw any pitch I want within the first 8 feet, I throw my cutter. I throw my fastball, and then I throw my cutter through that hula hoop. It's going to be very difficult for that hitter to hit it. So that's why it's critical from a hitting standpoint to get and attack that hitting line, or you call it pitching line. Anyone have any questions about that? I know it's a lot, but it's an introduction to what you should be thinking about when you get to home plate. Have a routine, unclutter the mind, take a deep breath, work with the pitcher, connect and commit rhythmically with the pitcher. For every movement he makes, you might make a movement. You've got to adjust, you've got to time it, you've got to be in sync with the pitcher. If you're just reacting, it's too late. If the pitcher delivers the ball and then you do your thing, it's too late. Every pitcher in America separates his hands. That might be a cue. When the leg goes up and the pitcher's leg starts to go down, that's when maybe you start to go up and start gathering to go and start falling forward, as we talk about. So start thinking about these things, because it's really about rhythm, tempo, and timing. Timing rules the at-bat. Does that make sense? Do you guys have any questions? This is just an illustration as to a visual that you can kind of see in your mind. So let me ask you a quick question. So we know that that's real, 60 feet 6 inches, a guy throwing overhand on a mound that's 10 inches high. So why would we throw short distance standing up? Is this simulating game-like situations? Critical. Coaches in America make a huge mistake. Me included. We make the same mistakes. So to get to this pitch line, because down at that end it's a strike coming from the top, what do we need to do? We need to be in a seated position. So if we can determine who we're trying to beat, an 86 mile per hour guy, we can determine the distance that we practice, and how hard we throw, and what trajectory we throw. That's gold to best prepare you to hit from a hitting standpoint. Any questions? There's got to be questions. Does this make sense to you? Very good. All right.